Good afternoon, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and scholars from all over the world. Welcome to Schumart Talk, our dynamic international platform dedicated to fostering dialogue, creativity, and cultural exchange within the academic and artistic communities. It is a privilege to host you today for a session that promises to be both enlightening and intellectually stimulating. At Schumart Talks, we are committed to the transformative power of scholarly conversation in unveiling the diverse narratives and perspectives that shapes a global cultural and artistic landscape. Our mission is to facilitate closer engagement with the minds of leading artists, cultural icons, and intellectuals, offering profound insight into their personal journeys, creative processes, and the conceptual frameworks that underpin their work. Today, we are honored to present an exclusive art talk featuring the esteemed and renowned Saudi artist, Mr. Dia Aziz and Princess Alia Al-Senussi, PhD, who will discuss his artistic journey. Mr. Dia's creations are landmarks and his artwork are timeless, heartfelt pieces. He's one of those unique artists who continually explores and evolves while artistically documenting important customs, traditions, architecture, and life in all its diverse forms. This event promises to dwell into Dia's artistic journey, profoundly influenced by his father's role in a Saudi Arabia cultural movement. His life has spanned multiple sites worldwide, including Mecca, Cairo, India, Jeddah, Beirut, USA, UK, Italy, enriching his artistic perspective. Mr. Dia is celebrated for his unique approach to art, focusing on revealing hidden truth behind appearance, particularly through the human face, which he views as a window into individual's essence. His technique of drawing and his abstract representation and capture the core of his subjects, emphasizing meaningful fragments. Being a prominent figure in Arab art world, Mr. Dia works are highly valued by collectors in Saudi Arabia and all over the world, and his sculptures add beauty to public space in Jeddah. His ability to blend art with his country's cultural and traditional context has earned him recognition from the Al-Masuria Foundation for Culture and Creativity and the Lyran Cultural Foundation. With career spanning over the 4 decades, Mr. Dia's proudest achievement is the design of the Mecca Gate, which he regards as his life's most significant accomplishment. This masterpiece symbolizes his artistic vision and deep cultural and spiritual connection. Mr. Dia believes, quote, "There is nothing more important than that. Mecca is the city of the heart of every Muslim, and I believe God arranged me for the design the gate of Mecca." Now we are welcoming Mr. Dia. With him, the art talk will take Princess Ali Al-Senussi, PhD, as can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I was just saying to your colleague.
Okay, Princess Ali Al-Senussi is a globally renowned member of contemporary art world with a focus on cultural strategy and patronage system. She's an active cultural strategist, writer, patron, public speaker, and academic recognized for a deeper knowledge of a global art world and its system and members. Considered as one of the foremost figures in contemporary art of her generation, Dr. Alia has spent her career in the global art world. Also, Dr. Alia has served as Art Basel UK MENA representative for over a decade and is also currently Senior Advisor International Outreach of Art Basel. In 2019, she was appointed as a Senior Advisor in the Ministry of Culture, Saudi Arabia, where she focuses on the development international partnerships, whilst working on a variety of projects across the ministry commissions and the Raya Biennale Foundation. Dr. Alia is a visiting lecturer at Brown's University at Winston Institute, working primarily with the Middle East Studies program. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope you enjoyed this enlightening session. Miss Dia, welcome once again, and Miss Princess Al-Senussi, also welcome. And
thank you. So nice to be back with you, always. The work you're doing, I think, is so important in kind of providing this platform. And, I kind of want to remind the audience, this is going to be, we hope interactive and even into the future, because this, will be available on the Shroom Arts website, and we want people to kind of learn and experience this. So, of course, we have many people who are going to be very well aware of your incredible work, Dia, but also some people who want an introduction to it. So we'll try to make a conversation that has something for both aspects. And I know that you really are considered one of the foremost kind of talents and really respected member of the artistic community in Saudi. Of course, first and foremost as an artist and, through your artistic practice, but also because you've been somebody who's so engaged with creating institutions, being a part of various fine arts associations, and also kind of bridging a community. Can you tell us a little bit about how you balance that, and how does it speak to your practice in terms of being able to kind of do both?
Well, actually, in fact, I am a very confined person. I work in my studio only. I don't have a very kind of, let's say, I don't integrate with a lot of, except when I am invited to make an exhibition here and or participate in an exhibition. But I have been lucky to have had my third very important exhibition that was done by Al-Mansuriya, Princess Jawahir bint Majid, and it was a great exhibition actually arranged by her, and I was lucky to have that. The other thing is Layan cultural establishment also is an establishment that I am lucky to have Prince Faisal bin Abdullah, who is the Layan manager and head. He's actually interested in my art, and he has supported my yearly what do you call it? I have a kind of I'm sorry, my memory is not very good. I think it is because of my age. I am an old man.
You seem very, very young to us. You look good on camera.
No, I'm a very old man anyway. So I am lucky to have these people supporting me. Nothing else. My enjoyment is when I sit and paint in my studio, and sometimes I have people asking me to make portraits for them or portrait subjects. I do that, and this is the only way I have this yearly concorso, let's say. It is a prize that it is on my name. It is the prize of Dia Aziz Dia. It is a yearly prize that is also supported by Layan. And every year we choose a subject of what goes on in our life, and we make a concorso about that, and every year we have a winner, actually first and second and third winners, and this is about everything I do. The other important thing which you have mentioned is the design of the Gate of Mecca, which is I'm actually very proud and very lucky to have had the opportunity to design it, and had during King Fahad, who actually supported the idea and financed the execution of the Gate of Mecca, which unfortunately it is only seen by Muslims, which can go into Mecca. But this means it is being seen by 1.5 billion Muslims in the world. Anybody who comes for pilgrimage will go through this Gate of Mecca. So, Alhamdulillah, I am very happy to be the designer of the Gate of Mecca. And that's all. Thank you.
That's all. That's already so much. I mean, so this idea as, you know, of really like kind of capturing humanity. And I think that even, you know, of course, translates to the Mecca Gate, but it translates into your own work in the studio. Maybe you can walk us through the process of, you know, making a painting, of how you like envision that. Of course, commissions are different, but, you know, how did you go about like thinking about the work for the Mansouriya show, for example?
How did I go to
like think about the work that you were going to put into the Mansouriya show?
Well, this happened a few years ago. It was Princess Jawahir visited my studio, and she saw my paintings and she liked the paintings, and she said, I will throw an exhibition for you and publish a book about you. And she did that. Thanks a lot for her. And I'm happy to have had that kind of appreciation from a person.
So maybe you can tell us about the works that you put into the exhibition. So, you know, kind of how you chose which parts of your practice.
A lot of paintings, which I can show later on. I don't know how to show it, but I mean, I don't know how to show it here through the Zoom, but I'm sorry about this. It is a lot of subjects. It is the subjects that I have painted through years, which is about life in Saudi Arabia, especially in Jeddah and Mecca, how we used to live, what kind of games the children used to play, what kind of life women has to go through, you know. And the most important thing is that it is all done in my style, I mean, my style of work. Another very important paintings were the painting of Mecca and Medina and Jerusalem, Al-Quds, I mean. And those paintings were special. They have not been painted before by anybody else. I mean, Mecca normally are painted in a way that you can just see the mosque and the Kaaba and all these around the Kaaba and so on. But the way I did this, it was at night, not during prayer time, very late at night, and it was from very far away, and it shows the Ghar Hira also in the same time. This was about Mecca, and the other painting was Medina, and it was the mosque as if it was floating over water. And the third was the Al-Quds, which shows the travel of Prophet Muhammad from Mecca to Al-Quds, and then his descending to ascending to the heavens. These are the most important three paintings that were in this exhibition.
Mm. And so I heard you use the word concorso earlier, and I know that your education, your kind of early arts education was in Rome.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yeah, you can tell us a little bit about how, how you found that moment and how that's influenced your work.
Well, when I was in Italy, in Rome, in the very beginning, I participated in this concorsi. I mean, in this, what do you call it in English? مسابقة.
Program.
In
Yeah.
Arabic, مسابقة.
Yeah, I think program.
Huh?
Program, maybe.
It's not a program. It is a concorso. That means it is a kind of people participate in
Oh, competition.
competition. Exactly. So I'm telling you, my memory is terrible.
Don't worry.
So this competition, I used to take part in it from the very beginning. In the first year of the academy, and I started winning prizes for every time I participate. And the last one was a very important one, where I designed and sculpted a medal of 50 years. Sorry,
Mhm.
50 years of this company not company. It's something to do with the government. It is a 50-year anniversary medal. So I designed that and I sculpted it and I participated, and I was not actually hoping to win it because it was done very quickly in a weekend and so on. But I had to participate, and but then I was surprised that I won the first prize for this one. Although all the students, and especially in the classes of sculpture participated, and they were very good in their work. But I am the one who won it, and I was surprised actually. And the winning was by a big amount of money. It was 500,000 liras at that time, in the 70s, and so I was very happy, and that's why I thought of making this exhibition this competition of mine, which is on my name here and it is now it is the 7 years going on competition, and this year is going to be about the camel in Saudi Arabia. So this is how it started,
And so this idea of a competition, like how do you, kind of work with the people who win? Is that something you kind of continue throughout the year, or?
No, at the end, when they communicate with me through through the internet, and they show me their paintings, and I gather all the paintings together, and then we have a committee that will rule and see who wins the first prize and second and third, and then we have a kind of an exhibition at the end of the year, and Prince Faisal most of the time comes to inaugurate the exhibition, and we distribute the prizes accordingly.
Mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about your practice. Maybe I understand, nature, of course, as you said, kind of the role of women, everyday life, children's play. Are there artists that you look to either in the West or in Saudi Arabia that you kind of feel a natural affinity, or do you look to other practices, or how do you, kind of create your, the landscape or in your own mind how you're going to go about a work.
You mean if I was influenced by anybody from the West or
Yes. Or from South, or even from home, like, is how do you kind of see your practice in relation to within the context of art history?
Actually, maybe I was influenced by exhibition, the Impressionists like Monet and Manet, Cézanne, and so on. But I wasn't before that influenced by the great I'm so sorry about that. My memory is not very good, but يعني, as far as Impressionism is concerned, I was influenced by these people. But for that, I was influenced by I can't remember the names, but anyway.
So the idea of like a more abstract or
no abstract. I was not influenced by abstract people. I'm not influenced by the abstract style or school. Because,
sorry, not abstract expressionist, but let's say more of like the impressionist movie, like a nature without figures in it, or
no, most of my paintings have figures.
Yes.
Yes,
I understand your work, but you're saying okay.
Because I think that the human is the central the center of the creation and the universe and the world. And the human face and figure is expressing everything that we have around us in the world, whether it is beauty, from beauty part of it, or from life itself. All the exertions of the humans around us fascinate me, and I like to express it somehow.
And this idea, I mean, for example, I was just at the Tate yesterday and saw Oscar Murillo, his work that was based on the Monet Garden. So this idea of like a dream world, let's say, which I think is so important. And sorry, I misspoke, but not abstract expressionist, but just this idea of perhaps an alternate world or, so can you tell us what you're working on now in the studio?
Now I'm working on a painting that is that has 4 figures, and it is a painting I was asked to do through a friend of mine, and I'm working on it, and it is a bit difficult because the figures are small, and I have to express their expressions and their features in a very small area of space, and that is difficult actually, because when the painting is big, it becomes easy to reach the details, but when it is too small, it is very difficult to reach those details. It takes very long time, and so use small brushes and so on. This is what I'm doing now. But before that, every time I finish a painting, I think of starting a new painting, and it goes on like this. It has been going on since the last 50 years. I mean, I don't like to sit doing nothing. I mean, either paint or sit on the computer. I like to work on Blender and 3D Max. I do Sometimes I do my sculptures on, the ideas. I work them on the computer. I like also Photoshop to work on it and to do some sketches. And before I used to start the sketches on a paper, before the computer and pen and so on, and do the sketch and then start working on the painting itself. But now, with the new technology, now I'm using the computer to sketch something and to form the ideas and so on, and then I start working on it on a canvas.
So tell us the difference between, your process, just this is kind of a more basic question for those in the audience who I've often heard this asked, like the difference between working on a painting as opposed to working on a sculpture. Is it using different parts of your artistic mind, or how do you decide the subject?
Well, actually, working on a painting, you're trying to create 2D or 3D space in a 2D space. I mean, creating a painting, you're trying to create a 3D figure or subject on a 2D space, using, of course, the shades and lines and different kind of technique in order to come up with this painting. In a sculpture, you actually are working on a 3D object. So it becomes easier to see the object from all the sides and to start implementing your idea in this subject. I work actually with the Creta, which means plastilina. I mean, and then when it is done, finished, I make casting for it by gypsum or generally by gypsum, and then or whatever material you want. Or I take the whole thing to Italy. I have people there in Italy that I deal with. They start enlarging the sculpture and turning it into either bronze or marble. So I have sculptures, big ones of marble and big ones of bronze. Here, Jeddah. Some of them are here in Jeddah. And one of the most important sculpture that I have done, other than the Gate of Mecca, the Gate of Mecca is actually, it's a sculpture, but it is also, it has, architectural features, because it is so big, it is so wide, and the highway goes underneath it, But the other one, which I have done by hand, piece by piece, is the one I have done for Saudi Arabian Airlines in front of the building here. It is in memory of Abbas ibn Firnas, the Muslim who about 600 years ago he was convinced that he can fly, and he tried to fly many times, but then he died jumping from a mountain, and he flew, but in the end he fell and he died. So in memory of him, I made this sculpture, which shows, and it is made out of the parts of the jet engine of the airlines, of an aircraft. And it shows a person who is trying to jump from a mountain. It is a big sculpture. It is about 16 meters high. And it is made out of these small pieces of the jet engine. It all forms the form of this man who is trying to fly. This is one of the most important, because I have done it myself with my hand and with the help of a welder, a craftsman who can weld things together and put things together. So I did that, and I'm very proud of it, and it's still standing until now here in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia in front of the building. This is one of the most important ones also.
Yes, I remember I've seen this work. It is truly monumental.
Ah, you have seen it. How did you see it?
Yes, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And I think, like you said, I mean, it is truly, you know, a presence, and you can't miss it. And I think such an important thing for public art.
You have been here to Jeddah and you saw it?
Yes, yes.
Very good. Very happy you did.
Yes, indeed. I think, Elena, do we have any questions from people who've sent them into you?
I have one question, if I may. For the people who are non-Muslim, can you please explain us the concept and spiritual context behind the Mecca gate?
Well, there was a competition about creating a gate for Mecca. And I participated, and I actually asked them if there was anything that they want to show, and they said nothing. It is left to you as an artist to think of what to do about the gate of Mecca. So I started thinking about that, and what is the most important thing about Mecca? So as a Muslim, I know that Mecca is, first of all, it is the birth of Prophet Muhammad. But the most important thing is the Quran, the book of God, the Quran. That's the most important thing, and that's what all the Muslims are following and reading. So I thought that this is the most important subject for me. So I have to engage the book somehow in this gate. So I put it on top of while I was trying to think about it, I had almost a dream. I saw in the mosques, the people read the Quran, they put it on a wooden holder or something.
Kind of stool, kind of stool.
Yes, yes. And I saw that in my dream. So when I saw it, I woke up in the morning and I made a sketch, and I continued this sketch during the day, and that's how according to that sketch, the whole gate of Mecca was done.
It's beautiful. I saw the painting online that you have it as a base for the gate of Mecca. And that is why
did you see the gate of Mecca itself? I mean,
I saw it on the pictures only on the internet, and think that it's very important that you said that it is not only a sculpture, but it's all architectural piece. Yes. And that is the very good thing, that people can be engaged physically through this artistic piece. That is very important.
That's right.
Yeah. We have one question is, what is your legacy? What will be your legacy for young people, not only in Saudi Arabia, but I think that people from all over the world need to know, and that is one of the things that we are, with the help of our dearest Princess Al-Senussi, we are doing this interview. What will be your legacy?
In what sense?
In sense, for young generation of artists.
Well, with this competition which I am making every year, I hope that, that in Saudi Arabia until now, we don't have academies, we don't have institutes that teach art, but they are working on it now. They say that they're going to be some institutes and and maybe an academy, one or two in Riyadh and Jeddah. So my effort is trying to make the young artists by this competition participate and feel you know, let's say when they win or when they compete, they work on art. They try to do their best. They try to search on the net. They try to make an effort to win, and that's how they start improving their level of artistic feelings and artistic accomplishments. And so I hope that in the end they will remember me as one of
they
them
will.
who participated in, because some of them who started a few years ago, they have become famous now. They started as beginners, but now they are selling their paintings, which I'm very happy for them. This is what I feel like. I mean, I hope that in the end, art in Saudi Arabia, especially in the coming generation, is different. It's universal. I mean, I want the artist in Saudi Arabia to be known in the world by exhibiting outside. And I want also the outside to come into Saudi Arabia and see the painters here and the artists here. It is not necessary that we go outside to exhibit. It is important also to have the outside come in and see our exhibitions and see our artists and paintings. It is very important.
It's very important to have some kind of residencies in Saudi Arabia as well.
Yes.
There is one question more about the influence of your father for your artistic journey. This is one question.
The influence of my father?
Yeah.
It's not only my father, it is my father and my mother.
And
Because,
mother, sorry, as well.
yes, because my father is the let's say the thinker.
Oh.
He's the one who used to give me you know, to push me, to give me ideas, to sometimes explain to me some of the poetry of the you know, the Arab poets of the Jahiliyyah, you know, of the early ones, which I never understood because my Arabic language is not that good. I mean, this is as far as my father is concerned. He's a very sensitive. He's a writer, you know, and a poet and a criticizer and so on. So he used to talk to me about the art and to buy books for me and so on about art. But the one I was influenced with was my mother. My mother used to, when I was very young, maybe 5 years old, I used to see her paint with oil paint on cloth, flowers and branches of trees and birds and so on. She paints them and then she puts them around the house, or she makes the pillows out of them. And so sometimes I used to sleep on these pillows and see these paintings that she did, and smell them also, smell the oil paint in these pillows. So I think I was influenced since I was very, very young by my mother. My mother used to use her hand very well. She used to sew clothes, and she used to take photos and you know, and she used to have a dark room. She used to use the toilet as a dark room, you know, in order to develop the black and white photos. So my mother is, I think I was influenced by her, by using my hand from her, and maybe my thoughts from my father, and so on. I mean, this is I was influenced by both of them, very, very much.
We have one question from Dr. Lina Katan. You may ask question. Dr. Lina, can you hear us?
She has to be.
Yes, hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Yes, I'm so happy to be a part of this special talk. I'm a very big fan of you. And you're a source of inspiration for also the artists before and now, and for the future, inshallah. I
Sorry,
have
Lina, were you part of the committee in one of my?
yes,
You were,
yes,
huh?
I was the
Yes,
one.
hello, how are you?
Yeah,
How are you?
I was a part of the panel committee for judging one of your art competitions, the one that was related to women, to Saudi women art.
Yes, Saudi women, yes, yes.
Yes,
Good.
yes, yes. It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
I have two questions, but I think I'm gonna focus on one for now. And this kind of question kind of, always comes to my mind, especially for artists who are so divided between to be a professional artist and a commercial one. And mashallah, you kind of excelled in both areas. My question is, how do you deal with the fact when you're commissioned to do an art for a client or something, but at the same time you may have some concerns or kind of, the idea of, not having a client that could understand the idea of art composition and so on. So how do you deal with this? And did you ever kind of, rejected any kind of commission for an artwork? And if you may share the reason with us, it would be so inspiring. Thank you very much.
you mean how do I?
Yeah, because as a commercial artist, that sometimes people commission works from you to be done. Sometimes you may, I'm sure that you may be faced with an artwork or idea of an artwork or a portrait, for example, that you don't approve for any kind of reason. So how do you deal with people as a commercial artist, and at the same time, you as an established artist, you don't want to ruin your reputation, your kind of, because it's going to be signed under your name. So this way, how do you deal with the fact that if you are faced with an artwork or a commission that you don't agree or kind of you don't approve the idea or the composition, for example, or maybe the color palette or anything else?
Well, if I was asked to do a painting that has nothing to do with I mean, it's not a portrait. If it is a portrait, I will let you know. And if it is not portrait, also sometimes, and if they ask me to do something that I don't normally do, I just say that, sorry, I don't do this kind of work. And that's it. And but if it is a kind of a portrait that in general I don't want to do, because maybe the photo they have sent to me is not I mean, I don't feel like doing it. I just say that it will be too expensive to do, and sometimes they just fly away when I say my price. So this is the only way. I mean, this is how I do it. I mean, if I understood your question, this is the way it is.
Dr. Lina, you may ask another question because we have several minutes left, if you may. I don't think that she can hear me right now.
He can't hear you.
No, I was muted. Yeah. My other question is, how do you, because you started to paint as an artist early on. I know it was so difficult for male artists to survive, to be a professional artist solely in our society, because I know that I think it's in everywhere in the world that it's so difficult to survive on art by itself. It needs supplies, it needs money, and so on. So as a male artist, how would you, I know that you had a very great family and they were so supportive, but about the society and that art is going to be your main profession, was it difficult to survive around these kind of mentalities, or was it so easy and they were so supportive and they actually kind of encouraged you to focus on your art and kind of not minding any kind of other profession to have?
No. In fact, after I graduated, I came back to Saudi Arabia. I was obliged to work as a teacher, school teacher, because the scholarship was from the Ministry of Education, and so I had to pay back by teaching in schools. So I did that for 2 years, and then I started my own artwork, and it was very successful for 7 years. But then I lost everything. There was problems, and so I stopped everything for 1 year, and then I was advised to work somehow to do some. At that time, I was not depending on my art. Actually, I was depending on some decorative decoration. I mean, because I had an office that used to do some decoration projects in Jeddah. But then, as I told you, it was a failure in the end. I did not know how to deal with a lot of different types of people. And so I lost everything. And then I was advised to find work somehow. So I approached Saudi Arabian Airlines. And so I worked for Saudi Arabian Airlines for 25 years. That's how I have a salary. And it went on until I not resigned, but I
retired, yeah.
Yes, retired, yes, 2 years ago. So, but during this time, when I was in Saudi Arabian Airlines, I knew, or I had the fortune to know Princess Jawahir and Prince Faisal bin Abdullah, who actually, this prince supported me by asking me to work and join him by something called isti'ara. That means he borrows my work from Saudi Arabian Airlines to him. He used to be the director of the National Guard here in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. So I worked with him for the last about 20 years since I retired, and I'm with him until now. I mean, he's a good friend of mine. He likes art, he supports art, and he's supporting actually my yearly competition. So this is how it started and how it is going on until now.
So the fact that I think it's kind of, similar to the rest of the world, that as an artist, you can survive by your own self and depend on your own art. You have to have your own profession, and then maybe one day you're going to get lucky and you're going to be an established artist to continue your art solely. Well, thank you very much for answering the questions.
As you said, this is the situation everywhere. All the artists in the world, nobody become an artist and can, live on his art. From even the early, the artists, Van Gogh, Monet, these people, they all started this. I mean, and then it depends on their work and their effort and luck. It has to be. They must have
Luck,
some
yes.
kind of luck.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Lina.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I think, Elena, I think we
don't have we don't have any questions anymore. But if you allow me, I would like to quote Mr. Dia at the end. Art is a reflection of human life, whether it's painting, sculpture, music, poetry, or any other form of expression. Life without art is not worth living.
That's right.
Thank you so much for these very profound words, Mr. Dia.
I have just
for providing us the art with which we can live.
That's right. I have a small request. Is this meeting, if it is recorded,
yes,
would you send me a link or something that I can see?
We will send you. We will send you the link for it will be on YouTube channel, and we will send you the link during the day. No worries.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.